When this film was first announced, I'll admit I had my doubts. But now that a fully fledged trailer for Joker is out in the wild, I gotta admit, I'm pretty stoked to see it. But honestly, the trailer leaves us with more questions than answers, which is where the theorizing comes in. So let's break this down and see what ideas we can come up with thanks to the Joker trailer. The trailer opens with some shots of our main character, Arthur, appearing to be a broken man. We see him talking to a social worker, named Kane by the way, as a nice nod to Batman co-creator Bob Kane, and then walking through a very rundown Gotham City with a slouched over posture, a bag of some kind in his hands. If I had to guess, the bag probably has a prescription drug in it, judging by the size of the bag and the next shot where we see him taking care of his obviously sick mother. Arthur's relationship with his mother seems to be a major driving point in his life, with the voiceover in the trailer stating that she told him to always put on a happy face and that he had a purpose in life. We then see him writing some jokes down in a notebook, and man, a few of them sure are knee slappers. Why are poor people confused? Because they don't have any sense. That one's funny because it hurts. The one at the bottom though is the one that probably has the most significance to the plot of the film. The worst part of having a mental illness is that people expect you to behave as if you don't. That right there is what I believe to be one of the main cruxes of the entire story in Joker. Now look, we all know that Joker is Crazy Town Banana Pants. It's kind of his most defining character trait. Don't really need a whole movie to tell us that. However, as this is sort of an origin story for the character, his mental illness is going to be front and center going forward. And as opposed to a story like the one that we got in The Killing Joke, where we saw an arguably stable character who, through the course of one bad day, lost his mind and became the Joker. I believe that this film is going to give us a character who was in a few ways already on the edge of snapping, and it'll be the injustices of the world around him that will ultimately drive him to the point of pure insanity. Let's dig into the trailer a little bit more to get at that point. We see Arthur working as one of those sign wavers out on a busy street before getting his sign stolen and completely beat down by a group of punk kids. Never thought I'd feel bad for the Joker. There is then a shot of Arthur and his mom dancing in a living room, once again highlighting the relationship between the two. I'm calling it right now. His mom is going to die, and that is going to be the nail in the coffin that pushes him to become the Joker, looking to seek revenge on the people that he blames for her death, which I'm willing to bet will be Wayne Enterprises. Perhaps because the cost of her medication being too high or something along those lines. There's a shot of Arthur enjoying a stand-up routine, which draws parallels to the Killing Joke version of his origin, where he was a failing comedian. And then of course we get that laugh. We then see him putting on his clown makeup, looking like it's in a backstage area with lockers and unicycles chilling right next to him. He is also crying as he tries to make himself smile. This is followed up by him yet again getting beat down, this time on a train, which I'm guessing is actually the breaking point in the film. See, this trailer as a whole has a lot of imagery that seems to suggest that the film is largely about the impoverished and the less fortunate standing up against those in power. And I think that this moment is when that truly begins. Look at what the guys who are beating him up here are wearing. Yeah, those are suits, the international shorthand for people who are richer and more successful than you. And here they are, literally beating someone who is down on their luck. Now, this is what I'm thinking. I think this is the moment when the Joker begins to show through. I think that Arthur takes a licking from these guys on the train, but ultimately stands up to them in some way. A little bit later on in the trailer, we see that there are mobs of people wearing clown masks, obviously riled up by something. I think that on the train, Arthur stands up to these guys in the suits, which ultimately inspires people all across the city to stand up in a similar way against the higher class. It's also worth noting that the following shots after the train show a version of Arthur that appears much more confident, even borderline happy. I mean, there he is dancing in a dingy bathroom. I think that moment on the train will go so far as to even make him a sort of celebrity, leading to his appearance on Robert De Niro's talk show, which I am guessing is gonna go similar to when he appeared on a talk show in The Dark Knight Returns, which will showcase his turn from a sort of people's champion to a full-on psychotic villain. All in all though, no matter what happens in the film, I am 100% sure that we will at the very least see the theme of the lower class against the upper in some form during the movie. The visual symbolism is just too strong in the trailer to make me think otherwise. I mean, there is literally garbage on the streets where all the poor people live. Hopefully a future trailer will shed a bit more light on the film. Otherwise, we will just have to wait until October to see how right I turn out being. What did you think about the trailer for Joker? What do you think is going to happen in the film? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below, and while you're down there, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to ScreenRant for even more trailer discussions and theorizing. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you at the movies.